Myself, Sreebash Bhattacharjee, but I am not known as Sreebash Bhattacharjee. I am known by something else. Not only here in Delhi, but over the country, abroad also. I am known as Sreebash.
That's what I'm learning now.
The Climbers and Explorers Club, once upon a time it was the biggest club in Asia. Activities wise, membership wise, otherwise also, equipment wise, or in all respects it was a top in the whole Asia. Due to many reasons, we could not continue working for it to the extent that this was network. But there are people who are still on this field only. We have not left the activities. But somehow civility was not considered. Even from institutes, they used to come to see us how we run so much of programs. There used to be a booklet, say 6 months in advance, it used to be printed. Where it is going, with all details, how we have to join, from everything. Somehow we could not maintain that. Now the time has come, we are all old, like Mohanji, I am 77, running, is 1480. We are on the march of going away from this place. This place means from the world. So we are requesting all the youngsters, young people, if they come forward and take the lead so that this is survived. You will be surprised to know we have got a land of 600 years of land here near Bhatra Hospital in the Tukragawad institution area. It was erected in the year 1986, but we could not build the house. Now perhaps some people have come forward, and moreover there is a now possibility of builders are working. So they are building houses for some people. So we are thinking now, if the builders they make fast, they take some space, and we get some, perhaps we can start this. Well, friends, I request the youngsters to come forward and be little, whatever time you can give, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, whatever, or once in a month, twice in a month, thrice in a month, whatever. Our address is 68 to Gurgaon Institution area. There is a room, there is a storeroom, there is a kitchen, there is a toilet. To this there is an establishment. We will go and work now. Today I was talking to him. I had one of my good students like Mohit Bhargava. He is in Bangalore now. Yes. He was one of my best students in GPS. I remember today when I was talking to him. So this way, our members are spread all over the country. All over the country. It was not restricted to Delhi only. It was all over the country. So, anybody is interested in taking adventure activities, they are welcome. We always welcome. Even I tell you, we had so many expeditions, motoring expeditions, boating expeditions, cycling expeditions, many things. I mean, many ways we were engaged in. We never restricted to Delhi people only. There are participants from Gujarat, from Maharashtra, Bengal, or wherever. Even Kutch, northeastern states, even from Jammu, they used to come to us for participation. My humble request to your children who are elder, your children may come forward. Even you may request your friends. let them join Tribal Electrical Club, make the building useful. If we can have it, hopefully some one and others they are working now very hard so that we can have the building made. But building made is not the end. It will be again a beginning. You have to use the building. Even for building, I say, जितने easily मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि we are making the building, perhaps it will not be easy. Say, whatever land we have got, you have to invest about 1 lakh crore. So we don't have this money with us. We raised some fund recently and surprised to make the boundary wall all right. Recently, to start working. However, I mean, these are all many stories, many things will come up. Please join us. हम लोग खराब लोग नहीं हैं. हम लोग खराब लोग नहीं हैं. Generally, adventure lovers, adventurers, mountaineers, they are highly knowledgeable. कि यहाँ से ट्रेनिंग लेके किया, then they started the adventure activity. और I feel proud. उधर पुणे में बैठा हुआ है रानी सुशांत. They have got their own business, adventure tourism business. They are from CC only. SB is from CC only. जिसके जगह में हम बैठे हैं. Is from CC only. That's why to get some position and it could come very easily here. Our entry is always open. If you say today, tomorrow we are coming here, it will be organized. How बोलते रहेगा तो साथ में बोलते रहेगा. So, thank you once again. Thank you very much for joining us for your one-day trip. We are proposing few more programs. We have already chalked out a few more programs for you all. Even you can get your friends here with us.
Hello friends, my name is Rani Puri and I feel so fortunate to be associated with this club CAC. Those were the times and this time there's a lot of difference. We didn't have financial support like we have today for your children. We used to look for anything free through LCC clubs, and CEC was very useful for us to fulfill our dreams one after another. We did a lot of treks, lot of expeditions, and because of my expedition, one of the expedition, I was called in a travel train to join, if I can join. And that's how I started my career in travel train. Until now I have my own agency and we are very happy. So please look at CEC.
For you to participate, we are announcing some programs. Now, अभी ये चलता रहेगा. ये प्रोग्राम अभी चलता रहेगा, हम नहीं होगा. जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट होगा ये जाएंगे. First program 3 days 2 nights trip to camp. Agra Khal. This is called Agra Khal. Teri. Agra Khal Teri, Uttarakhand में. Duration 16/4/21. 18/4. मॉर्निंग तक. ये 3 दिन का प्रोग्राम है. Activities में body round. You can take the copies out for these programs. Then 5 days 4 nights trip to Dalhousie. Dalhousie हिमाचल प्रदेश में है. वहाँ पे हमारे एक एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है, सीसी का एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है.
In fact, Mr. Manmohan Singh, and the family owns Meher's Hotel, one of the oldest property there, and it's a family business, and they are hosting that event, the Dalhousie event, which is 5 days and 4 nights. We will be circulating all this by mail to all of you. So you need not be taking copies right now. We will be circulating it to all the people by mail. Right? He's just reading it out for that everybody's knowledge.
This is in the month of May, from 16th May onwards. Then comes 5 days, 4 nights, take to Ludhiana.
Hello.
Months for there.
We will just wait for another 5 minutes. Some people are still coming.
This is for 5 days.
So please bear with us 5 minutes.
Then another program, 6 days, 5 nights, trek to Wari Pass. It is also in Chamoli, Uttarakhand mein. These are 4 programs we have announced. Perhaps we will announce more programs. If you see various flow is there, then yes, friends, you are welcome, friend. So you can take the copies of these programs and circulate it to the youth, and then let us know. If you see the encouragement, then perhaps we will announce more programs to come. It is not that we are restricted to this program only. Otherwise also, if you have got any suggestion of programs, you can come forward and give it to us so that we can implement it. Thank you. Thank you.
Ronnie. Good morning. Ronnie. क्यों चिल्ला रहा है भाई? क्यों चिल्ला रहा है? हाँ? फालतू। थोड़ा सा इधर टर्न अप हो जाइए। आप सबके साथ आ जाएगी रॉक्स। We are going for a walk on these rocks.
चढ़ जाएगा।
खाने के लिए मतलब भाई वाला चूहे वाला नहीं ये पक्के मोची वाला झूले।
Beautiful flowers are welcoming us after a very, very long time.
ये सूखे फूल हैं।
ये सूखे हैं ये?
इसी का ही वो
Really?
इसी से वो
अच्छा,
होली पे कलर बनाते हैं ना।
अरे ये प्लांट है एक बहुत ही पुरानी कहावत को अप्रूव करते हुए, ढाक के 3 पात, हर एक फुंदगे पर 3 ही पत्ते लगते हैं। ये है हमारा डैम, यहाँ पे हम रात को घूमा करते थे। सीसी के कैंप लगा करते थे, तो रात्रि को खाना खाने के बाद यहाँ टहलते थे।
Set up the चूल्हा। अच्छा फैमिली टीम वर्क बना।
Rock in front of you.
कंस्ट्रक्शन हुआ है वो किसी और।
हाँ वो नहीं, ये जो ब्लू हट है ना,
वो आप उस हट की बात करें जिसमें खाना बनाते थे।
हाँ नहीं, खाना उसके पहले जो वृंदा से एक जिसके अंदर स्टोर जैसे इन्होंने वो उसी के पास बैठा हुआ है।
हैंडपंप में तो मेरे को याद ही नहीं है, मेरे को तो याद है वो पानी निकालते थे।
बंद कर देना चाहिए।
ऐसे कोहरे में लिपटा हुआ व्यू तो हमने तब भी नहीं देखा वास्तव में, क्योंकि आना नहीं होता था ना सुबह सुबह। बहुत ही शानदार व्यू है।
Excuse me, sir. Can anyone hear me? What time is the meeting starting?
वो भी डेढ़ में 2 या 3 क्लियर देने गिन के, बाकी वो पुराना जलाओ, पत्थर से जला के करो।
Namaskar. On behalf of the family, we welcome you all today. Thank you for coming. We start with offering some flowers. Shraddhanjali, whoever wants to offer some flowers, please. Thank you. Can we observe 2 minutes silence, please? Thank you. Once again, on the behalf of the family, I thank you all for coming here today. This is an emotional day for all of us. We offer our prayers and pay our homage to Dada. Borda Sribhasda had engaged me and inspired me right through my early childhood and was one of my greatest mentors. Borda, Amar Jartoto Dada, was my primary source for motivation, inspiration, and courage throughout my life. My early memories about Srivastava was about his exceptional ability to engage with people at different walks of life and his ability to stay connected in the society, at workplace, in his clubs, and of course his large extended family. We were just discussing today our family. Many of us saw each other after 20 years. Even if he's not there, he's still connecting us, which is the power of the man. Growing up, I saw Borda take the center stage always. He was, wherever he went, he was the showstopper. No, he was probably not the best of mountaineer, but he was still leading a big mountaineering club, right? He was probably not astutely very religious, but he was still in the society, in the Kali Mandir society, and he was playing a leading role. He was also probably not a very, very good speaker, but whenever he held the mic, people listened to him affectionately and fondly. So he might have had many qualities to achieve what he achieved, but I think the single most thing that exuded out of him and which I took it as a learning all my life was that, people don't care what you know till the time they know that you really care. And Borda was always there for people around him. So that is what great leaders are made of. Great leaders inspire and motivate others by just being there. Their presence is enough. Many of you will agree that, Borda, by sheer strength of his aura and personality, he could solve complex problems and give people a lot of support. But to create that aura, I believe he followed a disciplined schedule of always being there when people needed him. He was always hearing and helping out others, even in the middle of the night, and was always accessible to anyone that wanted to talk to him and take his opinion. His help was selfless and honest, and that's why none of us got to know when he was sick and suffering. Such greatness cannot be acquired by one or two acts of kindness. Decades of such discipline in being there for others makes a man as great as this. Tears don't stop rolling, but I know your memories will inspire us beyond this life. On the behalf of the family, our wholehearted thanks to CR Bonge Samaj, Kalibari Society, and CEC to help arrange this event today. And thanks also to all of you who have joined on Zoom. I think we have a lot of people from a lot of different states: Bombay, Gujarat, Bangalore, Himachal, UP, West Bengal, Mizoram, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and Tripura. We would also like some of them to speak here, but before I go to them, I will now ask my niece, Sreebash Bhattacharjee, the only daughter of Sreebash, to speak a few words.
A very famous quote by a likewise famous personality goes like this: depth and strength of a human character are defined by his moral reserves. Baba's moral reserves are evidenced by the work he did all his life, and each one of us who are present here are witness to that. Surprisingly, while I'm still trying to unravel his moral reserves, the more I dig deep, deeper the reserves look. However, my 10-year-old daughter Candy seems to have understood it well and quickly from the limited interaction she had with Baba. I am holding a letter she wrote to me after learning of her Dada and Dimma's ill-fated news last year. She wrote me a letter from the next room. Dear Ma, we know Dada got COVID and went to Jesus. And it really means a lot to me. He really was a very wonderful person and always did the right thing when no one was looking. He was a wonderful man. He cared for others, but not for himself. He's still in our heart and still loves us. We will always love him for what he said. We really respect and love his care for us. We still have a chance to save Dimma and protect her as best as we can. Love, Candy, and Cherry. That was Baba's depth of character. He did the right thing even when no one was looking. Baba, I cannot express the void we feel in our hearts. It's been so hard and painful to move on with life, knowing that we will not see you again. This is by far one of the most life-altering experiences that I've ever had. Baba, you are like what Shejopishi, my aunt, Baba's sister, says, the big banyan tree, always available to whoever needed, who was grounded, kept growing, helped others grow, at the same time knew when to let go. The family's pillar of strength, you were always there. And every family event, always supporting, always cheering. Baba, you shaded us like the banyan tree as the peacemaker sometimes. In every situation you believed, getting along with all. The accord that you tried to bring amongst our family will hopefully never be forgotten. Baba, you still stand tall and will always stand as our big banyan tree. A banyan tree's core strength is its biggest asset. And I know that you gave it all to fight Corona, almost silently, all alone. We never got to know how sick you were. And the funniest part is neither did you. You did your part until you could not push no more. It was too strong for you. I know you believed till your last breath that one day you will get better. All of us were hoping against hope that you will fight back. I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve this, no one does. And I'll forever remain with guilt, remorse, and regret that I could do nothing. Baba, you believed in the intrinsic value of relationships, very important for him. Much like the entangled branches of the banyan tree, which also knew how perfectly to deal with betrayals. Right, you had haters too. You had haters maybe because you were so righteous, maybe because you know how to read people's mind. Baba left an everlasting impact on every person he met. You lived for others, both in the profound philosophical sense and literally too. CC, Dokhinilli Kalibadi, Bongyo Samaj, IMF, sports climbing, Kali Mandir, saw much more of you than me and Ma at home. We were almost jealous that you lived for others. I recall a time when you asked me which class I was in. Whereas you would have scored a distinction if somebody were to ask you the minutes of action items of a certain club meeting. Baba, I'm not worthy to carry on your footsteps, but I'll do my best to remain grateful. I'm just happy to be born of you and that your candy cherry is beloved, Dada. Baba, your life, your influence, your energy is inseparably linked to Ma and me and the entire family, hopefully, and endure by taking comfort in that. Your measure as a man is not about how much money you made. You made very little. Not the possession you owned. You possessed very little. Those of you who really knew Baba will know that he was none of those. Being indebted to you for your moral upbringing, worthy principles, all sound big talk, right? As insignificant as I am, I just regret I was more expressive. It was never in our genes. We as a family have never believed in the visual expression of how much we feel for each other. That is generally seen. But I so foolishly and childishly believe and wish that I could hold your hand again. Honestly, I myself am very astonished beyond words that I'm able to express so openly, so unhesitatingly, and so wholeheartedly. I was never like this. One always hopes that one would have more time to get acquainted with the idea of death and what it means for those who are left behind. Now I am beginning to understand just how naive it is to believe that. While I hope one never has to experience such a life-altering loss, the truth is we all will. Death is a part of life, and once it strikes someone you dearly love, your existence ceases to be the same again. The pain of losing Baba will perhaps never leave me and the family, but I hope that it will ease with time as we process and get through the endless ache. But I don't think I will ever get over it. How can I? How can I get over a person who has been there since before I was even aware of myself? My earnest respect and regard to all of you who have extended their support and strength when Ma and me needed the most. Your kindness, your affection and understanding will never be forgotten. If I start to take names, I'll probably spend the whole night here. So I'll just mention in a way Baba would have preferred. Bhattacharjee family, Josephan family, Mundal family, Chakraborty family, Bongyo Samaj family, CC family, IMF family, Kalibadi family. I would love to take a few names here, but if I miss others, please pardon me. Bapida, Kittu Bhaiya, Sukumar Uncle, Gautam Da, Pradeep Kaku, everybody. I know I have missed most of the names, but my committed and genuine ovation to all of you who have gathered here today to remember Baba so fondly and affectionately. I have no doubt Baba is thrilled and almost walking on air, quite literally, out there. You will recall in the beginning, I have said that I'm still discovering Baba's strength of character. True. I am discovering things about him bit by bit whenever I have spoken to anybody. I want to share with all of you some of the things that I've heard, and I quote, beloved, respected, dynamic, visionary, creative genius, and I only know now that used to play the guitar. Amazing human being, dear friend, inspiring mentor, a person with strong willpower and indomitable spirit, caring, a legend, a spirited adventurer, a great teacher, an elder brother, father figure, hero, pioneer, leader, well-wisher, guide, noble soul. The list is endless. Somebody also said he only gave, never took anything. Fearless, somebody with endless compassion, a disciplinarian, that he was. All of us are witness to that. He was a disciplinarian. A pillar of strength, caring guardian, a selfless contributor, unquote. And there are the ones that overwhelm me the most, and I quote again, he's the end of an era, a force multiplier, uncomplicated. Baba was uncomplicated. He was everybody's own. He always knew how to get the best of someone. A tiger with infinite courage, a tall personality. And yes, my tall, dark, and handsome Baba, unquote. Whatever is said, of course, is filled with grandeur. For Candicherry, he was the simplest grandfathers, trying to give them the simple pleasures of life. I know the whole of 2020 during the lockdown, he spent making aam ka achar, aam papad. And there's at least 10 kgs of what I can eat. My heart breaks when I savor those. And I'm going to quote Leonardo da Vinci again, whose the first quote was, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and that truly defines Baba. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya. And I would also request, I have a few names here, so I will call out the names. Some people are on Zoom, and so I will, as I call out the name, I would request Zoom to be played here. Okay. So we are going to play a small video to, I'm sorry for that. We're playing a small video. After that, we will take the names and one by one. What an extra, what an extraordinary life and what an extraordinary story. I would now request Mr. Bomkesh Bosh, President Chittaranjan Pak Bonge Samaj, to say a few words.
Well, we have heard from Shreya the facets of the character of a magnificent person, a legend who was by all definition of the term legend. We had the fortune to have his company. In fact, we are thankful to the family to have agreed to hold this solemn occasion today in this building. It's a poetic justice in a way, because this building, the creation of the building is the result of Sreebash Bhattacharjee's efforts. I remember the days when we used to gather here when the constructions were going on, few of the friends, dedicated friends, and he was the spirit behind all of us. I mean, in spite of, I remember the days when the concreting was going on, he used to climb these steps on the rooftop with an umbrella and watching the work going on. Such was the dedication of his efforts in bringing up this building. So, in a way, we are really thankful to the family that they have decided to hold the function here. The facets of his character, the glimpse of them, we have got the idea from Shreya's emotional talk. In fact, I was also overtaken by emotion while she was delivering her talk. Nevertheless, I would like to remember some of the incidents, some of the happenings which are associated with Sreebash in the matter of Bonge Samaj, because my association with him started with Bonge Samaj. In the early 80s, I remember once I got a call from him, Bomkeza, I am so-and-so speaking from Bonge Samaj. I would like to come and meet you. I said, you are most welcome. In fact, my younger brother, popularly known as Hoteda, who could not come here because he's not well, from him he got the background of my background, and then he said, I'd like to meet you. He said, you're welcome. He came, we had few chats, and then he said, আমি একটু বাংলাতে বলছি, আমাদের পৌষ মেলা হবে জানুয়ারি মাসে, আপনি জানেন আমরা করছি, এবার আপনাকে আমাদের পৌষ মেলাতে যোগ দিতে হবে। আমি বললাম যে আমি কিভাবে যোগ দেবো, আমি তো কোনোদিন এই সমস্ত ফাংশন বা কিছু ব্যাপারে আমার কোনো অভিজ্ঞতাই নেই, I don't have any experience, how can I help you? He said, you don't worry, sometimes you have to jump, then only you'll get experience, so we are requesting you. And he was such a persuasive person and towering personality. I mean, you couldn't say no to him. The way he approached, the way he could convince the people. So I said, okay, fine, if you say so desire, but I'm telling you, you are making a very great risk in picking me up. Then he said, we will like you to be the chairman of the Mela committee. I said, how come, I have never dealt with such occasions. And Bonge Samaj, as you may be aware that we are holding this Mela. It's a very popular Mela. I think all across the city people come throng for about 3 days. It's a fantastic celebration that we organize every year. And then I said, it's a very gigantic task. Can you rely on a person who does not have any iota of experience? He said, no, we are with you, don't worry. So I jumped into the fray. We held the Mela. It was a grand success. It was a bumper Mela. In fact, I was told that that particular year, the proceeds from the Mela, that is one of the main revenues we earned for our Samaj activities, that was a record by that time. Nevertheless, so that gave us the encouragement, and I was made to hold the Mela for the next 3 years as chairman of the Mela committee. Okay, fine. I said, okay, I have achieved my objective. I have not betrayed, your expectations have not been belied. So that's really nice. But he wouldn't leave you at that point. He said, then next I was made the president of Bonge Samaj. This is again an onerous responsibility. He had the vision that, okay, this man will be able to carry on the mantle. And of course, unless he was there, I could not have carried out this responsibility. I will say a few words about 2 or 3 incidents that is, related to personally between him and myself. In fact, this Mela, we used to organize in a ground called Mela Ground. Because of the Mela, the ground was named as the Mela Ground. And for few years, we could not hold the Mela there because of certain administrative reasons from the civic authorities. Later on, he used to tell me, Bhumkeshda, I want to go back to my original site. I cannot hold the Mela in this small Bhongya Samaj premises. We have to go back. So we decided, and then he made all efforts, met the councillor, the MLA and whatnot, and so he got the permission, and we went back to the Mela ground. And I think that year, or maybe the next year, I don't remember, on the last day of the Mela, normally, after the Mela, we gather together. There's a canteen. We call it Samaj Canteen. We gather there, all the members, and we have our dinner together. So I said, the function was over. Then he said, Bhumkeshda, আমাকে একটু যেতে হবে, আমি ডিনারে থাকবো না। আমরা কেন তুমি এত খাটাখাটি করলে কেন থাকবে না, চলো আমরা let us have an early dinner today, বলে না। Then he told me, and I was taken aback by what he said. He said, my daughter met with a very severe accident. She had a fall. She had gone for an expedition somewhere, and she is in ICU fighting with her life. I said, how come you are here? We should have gone there. He said, no, Deepa has already gone, and I am flying tomorrow morning. I couldn't go because of the function. This was the sense of his sort of responsibility to the society. I mean, I said, you should not have stayed back. We are there to take care. He said, no, it is my responsibility, and I cannot shun that responsibility. I'll go. I know my daughter is a fighting character. I know I have got faith in her. She will fight it out. And she is my daughter. I know her. And that was the time I was really amazed to see the strength of his willpower and character. I said, this is a man. He's not an ordinary man. Anyway, I think next day early morning he took the flight and he went. And then I came to know that no, the daughter is recovering. She is fine, and things are falling back into the normal place. Anyway, so this was one incident which influenced me. It was very much, a new facet of his character was revealed to me. And finally, I'll tell you another incident that he was associated with this Bhongya Samaj since the inception of the Samaj. And then he made this beautiful building, its various social activities. We made a name for the Samaj in the city. And then one day he said, Bhumkeshda, I want to confide with you on something. I'm thinking to join Kali Mandir Society. I will like to fight the election. I said, come on, Sreebash, তুমি এতদিন এইটাকে তৈরি করেছো, এখানে আছো, and আমরা একসঙ্গে আছি। আর that time there was a political activities going on, a lot of dirty things were going on in the Kali Mandir. I said, ওখানে নোংরামিতে তুমি কেন যেতে চাও? তুমি তো এখানে ভালো আছো, আমরা ভালোভাবে কাজ করছি। বলে, দেখুন Bhumkeshda, কালী মন্দিরটাও তো আমাদের পাড়ারই একটা সংস্থান, অনেক নোংরা জমেছে, কাউ না কাউকে তো ওটা পরিষ্কার করতেই হবে। তাই জন্য আমি ভাবলাম যে I said, okay, তোমার যদি এটাই তোমার অবজেক্টিভ হয়, I will not object, you can go, you should go. Then he went there, he fought the election, he won the election, but unfortunately he could not fulfill his term because of the pandemic. And I happened to read the last annual general meeting's secretary's report, in which his portion of the report was also there. And he had done a lot of work during his short period, cleansing the Kali Mandir, making it a transparent body, and I mean, a lot of things he had done in his very short time. Had he survived for a longer time, I'm sure Kali Mandir would have been much richer place today. It would not have been the state as it is today. So these are the 2 small incidents I thought I should share with you. And Sreebash is with us even today. He will relive in our memory, as long as Bungyo Samaj is there. And one word I must say here that Sreebash could devote much of his time for the social activities, but for his wife, he would not have been able to do it, and perhaps his daughter. Deepa used to take care of the house, and he enabled him to spend time other than the family. He was a family man, as we can see from Shreya's talks, but it was the brunt of the thing that she used to carry, and because of her, we were able to have Sreebash for a longer time with us, at odd times, at any times. So we are thankful to Deepa for that part of the life. And even today, I remember one day recently what happened. Gautam and I, we were faced with a problem, some problem, and we were dumbfounded कि क्या करें, क्या करना चाहिए इस situation में. So suddenly Shamal came in front of us, and then I asked Shamal, শ্রীবাসদা যদি আজকে থাকতেন এই সিচুয়েশনটা কীভাবে ট্যাকেল করতেন? বলে শ্রীবাসবাবু যদি থাকতেন উনি এই জিনিসটা এইভাবে করতেন. So even today he is guiding us. So his spirit will be guiding us in our future endeavor also. So I pay all my respects to him, and with these words I'll just say thank you.
Thank you. Request Dr. S.K. Chaudhary. Dr. Kaku, if you want to say.
উপস্থিত সভ্যবৃন্দ এবং সুধীরা, আমি ডক্টর চৌধুরী আমার নাম। শ্রীবাস আমার গত ৪৫ বছরের বন্ধু, এবং আমরা বিভিন্ন সময় বিভিন্ন জায়গায় বিভিন্নভাবে মিলিত হতাম এবং সমাজের বহু রকম কাজ আমরা করতাম। তো আজকে আমার মধ্যে নেই, উনি আমাদের মধ্যে নেই, কিন্তু সেটা খুবই বেদনাদায়ক অবস্থা। আমরা ভাবতেও পারি না যে উনি আমাদের মধ্যে নেই। তাই মাঝে মধ্যে আমার মনে পড়ে, আমার চোখ দিয়ে অঝরে জল বেড়ায়। আর তো কিছু বলার নেই আমার পক্ষ থেকে ওর জন্যে। তবে আমি এটা জানবো যে যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত সিআর পার্ক থাকবে, এই সিআর পার্কের উপরে একটা আকাশের জ্যোতিষ্ক থাকবে যার নাম হবে শ্রীবাস নক্ষত্র। এটা আমি ভালো করে জানি, কারণ এই চরিত্রের যে অন্য সাধারণ যে গুণাবলী, এটা সাধারণ মানুষের ধারণার বাইরে। একাধারে প্রচণ্ড ব্যক্তিত্ব, অদম্য সাহস, অসম্ভব উদ্যমী, কোনো কাজে ওনার কখনো পিছিয়ে পড়তেন না। যদি কিছু করতে হলে করবেই সে। সেরকম আমরা এই ৪-৫ জন বন্ধুরা একটা ছিলাম, তাদের পঞ্চপাণ্ডব বলা হতো। আমরা বিভিন্ন সময় বিভিন্ন জায়গায়, প্রত্যন্ত জায়গায়, পাহাড়ে পর্বতে জঙ্গল ঘুরে বেড়াতাম আমরা। এবং ওনার উদ্যমেই আমরা এইসব জায়গায় যখন যেতাম, আমরা সবসময় আমাদের সঙ্গে, আমি ডাক্তার বলে সব মেডিসিন ক্যারি করতাম, সব মেডিসিন কিট নিতাম, মেডিকেল কিটস। ওখানে গিয়ে জায়গায় জায়গায় আমরা ওখানে বিভিন্ন রকম আমরা করতাম, এই মেডিকেল ক্যাম্প, দরিদ্র জনসাধারণকে ডেকে ওদেরকে দেখা, রোগ নির্ণয় করা, ওষুধ দেওয়া, সব করতাম আমরা, এরকম করতাম। আচ্ছা, এইরকম একবার ট্রিপে একটা অন্যান্য প্রত্যুৎপন্নমতিতার গল্প বলছি আমি। আমরা একবার গিয়েছিলাম গোমুখ। সে গোমুখে গিয়ে কি হলো, ওখানে অত্যন্ত অল্টিটিউডে ভয়ঙ্কর ঠান্ডায় আমাদের একজন বন্ধু ছিলেন, নাম হচ্ছে রথীন চক্রবর্তী, ওনার নাম, আপনারা সকলেই চিনেন ওনাকে। উনি বোধহয় এই বিল্ডিংয়ের ব্যাপারে অনেক কিছু করেছেন। ওনার হয়ে গেল হাইপোথার্মিয়া। হাইপোথার্মিয়া থেকে বেঁচে ওঠা যে কি মানে ভয়ঙ্কর জিনিস, নোবডি নোজ। ও শুধু শ্রীবাস থাকার জন্য উনি বেঁচে গিয়েছিল সেই যাত্রায়। ওর প্রত্যুৎপন্নমতিতার জন্য, ওর মানে অদম্য মানে চিকিৎসার যে লাইন উনি যে বলেছিলেন, সেই অনুযায়ী আমরা করে উই গট হিম ব্যাক, রথীন চক্রবর্তীকে। উনি বোধহয় আজকে এখানে আছেন, উনি জানেন কিনা জানি না, আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি না ওনাকে। তো যাই হোক, তো আমার এইটুকুই বক্তব্য যে শ্রীবাস আমাদের জন্য চিরকালের জন্য অজর অমর অক্ষয় হয়ে থাকবে। এই বলে আপনাদের আমি নমস্কার করে আমি বক্তব্য শেষ করলাম। ঠিক আছে।
Next, I would request Dr. Amitabh Mukherjee, Chitan Park Bungyo Samaj. He's joining from Bombay on Zoom.
Good evening to everybody. Unfortunately, I'm out of station. I'm in Bombay. I pause for the family. I shared their grief and also rejoice their pride. A lot of people have spoken about Sreebash's qualities. Not many will speak. I will only talk about two things that I noticed about Sreebash during my interaction. He was a perfect gentleman. That was the first quality I noted about him. The last image I have of Sreebash is he was seeing me off in my car at Kali Mandir when I was carrying hope. It was summer last year. And I told him that Sreebash da, এত রোদ্দুরে আপনি এখানে এলেন অফিস থেকে ছেড়ে বললেন আমাকে মুখার্জি সাহেব বলতেন মুখার্জি সাহেব আপনি আসতে পারলেন আমার অফিসে তো আমি আপনার গাড়ি ছাড়তে পারি না এই ভদ্রতা this kind of this consideration for a friend খুব rare. Second, we used to meet often for the last few years. He never betrayed his image of a visionary. He always talked about his vision of how Bangla Samaj should shape up and how later on what he wants to do with the Kali Mandir Society in Chittaranjan Park. In all my conversations with him, there was one factor which was always missing, which is a PNPC, Poroninda Porocharcha. He never did that with me. I have spent hours and hours discussing with him. Omtesh Das spoke before me. He first came to my home to invite me. Omtesh Das was also there. He never spoke ill of anybody. He may have disagreed with people, but he never did that. I learned these two things with him, that if you work for an organization, dream about it, have a vision for it, fight for the vision, work for the vision. Last year also I spoke, but when I was seriously ill in the hospital, but still at the request of Uttio, despite my serious indisposition, I did record a video and sent it to Bangla Samaj for display. It's my misfortune that today I am unable to be present at the meeting, but I pay my respects to him. I certainly think that a sterling has gone out of circulation. Bangla Samaj, Bengal society in Delhi are so much poorer that Sreebash Bhattacharjee is not there in the physical sense. But I think he is there with us. As Tagore said, he is present and continue to guide us. Thanks to the family and to Bangla Samaj for having invited me to speak a few words about Sreebash Da. He will always be in my heart, and I will always be ready till I last to continue to perpetuate the memory of Sreebash Bhattacharjee. My greetings to all of you, my condolences to the bereaved family. I must say, Sreebash's daughter spoke very well, very, very precise, very emotional at the same time, which it should be. She is talking about her father and very detailed. Thank you to her and thank you to Bangla Samaj for inviting me. Good night.
I would now request Mr. Pradeep Ganguly, Chitran Park, Bangla Samaj, if he's there.
এই দেহপানি চেয়ে পড়ে মোর মনে, যেন কত শত পূর্ব জন্মের স্মৃতি, সহস্র হারানো সুখ আছে ও নয়নে, জন্ম জন্মান্তের যেন বসন্তের গীতি। যেন গো আমারই তুমি আত্মবিস্মরণ, অনন্তকালের মোর সুখ দুঃখ শোক, কত নব জগতের কুসুম কানন, কত নব আকাশের চাঁদের আলোক, কত দিবসের তুমি বিরহের ব্যথা, কত রজনীর তুমি প্রণয়ের লাজ, সেই হাসি, সেই অশ্রু, সেই সব কথা মধুর বুরতি ধরি দেখা দিল আজ। তোমার মুখেতে চেয়ে তাই নিশিদিন জীবন সুদূরে যেন হতেছে বিলীন। I dedicate this poem written by Rabindranath Tagore on this Kobi Pokho to my favorite Sreebash Da. I haven't come here to condole the departure of Sreebash Da. I have come here to rededicate myself to follow the path, the unfinished work he has done. He has left behind for us. My association with Sreebash Da is around more than 40 years, 45 years, during R.K. Poonam days when he was the secretary of Dakshin Delhi Kalibari. That time it was a very small organization having a small hut-like temple. And he had a vision, what Shreya, Momkesh Da, Dr. Chaudhary, Amitabh Da said, that he had a very big vision. And today one of the biggest organizations, Dakshin Delhi Kalibari, is because of his vision. I'll tell you just two incidents. Once, during that time, I think I was in college, and during 70s, there was a big temple was coming out that was Sami Malai temple, just adjacent to Dakshin Delhi Kalibari in Sector 7, R.K. Puram. So a big chunk of stone fell down from there. It fell on the land of Dakshin Delhi Kalibari. It was a barren land with thorns, with stones and everything, there's nothing. But he thought that we can carry that stone to some place where we can make a stair. It was a very heavy stone, cuboid, part of the block of that Malaya Mandir. We don't know how to take it away. But Sreebash Da said, okay, we challenge ourselves that we will carry that stone to around 400 feet away to the stairs of Dakshin Delhi Kalibari. And we don't know, we were very young, around 10, 15 people were there. He said, whoever does it first will treat it with them with chicken and all. So we tried, we started in the morning, say around 7:30, and by 1:30 we could fetch that stone, we could carry that stone by pushing, by throwing, ultimately to that particular point. It was not that stone or not the thing that we have carried, it is his willpower and the leadership quality that made us to take that heavy stone around 40 feet away from the place where it fell. I'll tell you another incident in Dakshin Delhi Kalibari only. It was during Bijoya Shammilani. You know, there was a famous singer, Dijen Mukherjee. He had come to sing at New Delhi Kalibari, and we wanted him to come to Dakshin Delhi Kalibari for a night to perform. He never wanted to come to Kalibari. He said, it's such a small place, Dakshin Delhi Kalibari, he doesn't know anything about that. Why should he come from New Delhi Kalibari? So just to avoid it, he didn't say, no, I am not going to perform. He said, you come at 2:30 at night so that I can talk to you. I have got a program before that. You come at 2:30 at night. So in that period, there was hardly any Uber or Ola, or anybody never had any car or anything. We had only 2 scooters, and without, that time helmet was not permissible. Triple carry was allowed. Exactly at dot 2:30, we were at New Delhi Kalibari where he was performing, and he came out from the stage. He said, I thought you won't be able to come at 2:30. Sreebash Da said, had it been afternoon 2:30, we would have thought 10 times. But at night 2:30, we are free, we can come at any time. And ultimately he agreed and he performed at Dakshin Delhi Kalibari. So what I want to say is that it's his willpower, it's a leadership quality, and the strength he has in him. I don't think he has gone off. He has gone to Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. He has the power to say to Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar that you are doing wrong. Because he can speak the truth. He can speak the right way. And I think Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar might be thinking whom we have got. He is so straightforward. He has everything in his mind, and he is very clear about the concept of what he is going to do. I have stepped into a very big shoe of Sreebash Da at Chittaranjan Park Kali Mandir Society. After he has gone, I have taken over the charge as secretary of Chittaranjan Park Kali Mandir Society. I think it's a very big shoe to step in. I'm trying, still trying. Whatever positive thing he has done over there, it's very difficult for me to at least maintain that. Forget about the improving or thinking about anything. But I'm sure with his blessings, with his support from there, we will definitely be not only Kalibari, not only, I'm also treasurer of Bongyo Samaj. The most of the, and he was also part of Bengal Association, I'll tell you, I'm also part of Bengal Association. He has done a lot for Bengal Association also. So all the organizations will definitely be guided by his spirit, by his guidance, whatever he is doing from there, and will definitely be benefited with that. I still am grateful to Sreebash for whatever I am today, because he has brought me to this place, Chittaranjan Park Bongyo Samaj. He has brought me to Chittaranjan Park Kali Mandir Society, a number of places. He had a big dream. I'm trying to fulfill that, and I still owe a lot to him. I pay my sincere homage to Sreebash, and thank you, Shreya and Bodhi and all. Thank you.
And the things are available. The records have been set right. All the life membership records have been set right, which Khosla will speak about that. So let's hear from Dada first.
I think it's better to have a list of agendas, 2-3 agendas which we should discuss. Don't waste time.
No, that's right. We have it.
We might miss the things and go somewhere else. No. Take your own time, Dada. 5 o'clock, there is no problem. We are sitting here. If the agenda is set, then we will discuss it, that particular point of view.
Let's hear from him. And then
But it is very long agenda. I know. I did.
May I have your attention, please? Hello.
Tomar.
Sorry. Please. First of all, once again, good morning, everybody. And welcome to CEC family. और सुबह जो मैं आ रहा था, somebody said कहाँ जा रहा है? मैंने कहा family से मिलने जा रहा हूँ। कौन सा family तो साथ में है? कहाँ जा रहे हैं मिलने? मैंने कहा और एक family है, तुम लोग आवाज़। Finally, I had to spend too much time to tell him where I am going. How about?
Next we'll have Haris ul Haq. Haris bhai.
मैं अपनी तरफ से और दादा की फैमिली की तरफ से और जितने भी दादा के शागिर्द रहे हैं हम जैसे, उनकी तरफ से मैं आप सबका खैर मकदम करता हूं, क्योंकि आप सब लोगों ने दादा के लिए अपने कीमती टाइम में से कुछ वक्त निकाला। दादा के लिए मैं एक शेर कहना चाहूँगा। मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिब मंजिल मगर, मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिब मंजिल मगर, लोग साथ आते गए कारवां बनता चला गया। तो हम सब लोग जो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं इस वक्त, ये एक कारवां है कि दादा ने एक शुरुआत की थी, एक स्टार्ट किया था एडवेंचर से लेकर के, क्योंकि मैं एडवेंचर से दादा से जुड़ा हुआ था। तो तकरीबन 87 से मैं दादा के साथ जुड़ा था। तो उस वक्त से मैं हमेशा अब तक आखिरी मोमेंट तक दादा के साथ उसी फील्ड से मैं जुड़ा था। तो कुछ यादें दादा की बहुत हैं, लेकिन उनमें से कुछ बातें मैं ज़रूर यहाँ पे आप लोगों के सामने रखना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि दादा की बहुत सारी चीज़ें अभी यहाँ पे आप लोगों को बता दी गई हैं। जिस वक्त हम लोग जुड़े थे, हम लोगों की उम्र इतनी नहीं थी, लड़कपन था, जवानी थी। तो लेकिन जैसे जैसे धीरे धीरे उम्र बढ़ती रहती है, एक्सपीरियंस होता रहता है, तजुर्बा होता रहता है, तो उसी के हिसाब से आदमी का नज़रिया बदलता भी रहता है। तो दादा जो थे एडवेंचर फील्ड में हम लोगों के उस्ताद थे, जिस वक्त हम लोगों ने ट्रैकिंग शुरू की 87, 86 से, उसके बाद हमारे कुछ यहाँ पे सीनियर्स भी बैठे हैं CEC क्लब से, तो क्लब बहुत जल्दी और बहुत कम तादाद में, मतलब कम वक्त के अंदर दादा ने जो है उस क्लब को बहुत ऊंचाइयों तक पहुंचा दिया था, कि जो एक उनकी लीडरशिप के ऊपर और एक जो टीम स्पिरिट उनके अंदर थी, वो एक क्वालिटी उनकी थी, बहुत ज़बरदस्त थी। ये सब अभी कुछ लोग पहले इससे बयान कर चुके हैं, तो आप लोग सब समझ ही गए होंगे। जब हमने शुरू किया ट्रैकिंग तकरीबन 90 में, फिर उन्होंने दादा से, हम लोग पहले से मिलते थे, उसके बाद दादा ने हमें 90s से जो है एज ए कैंप लीडर भेजना शुरू किया। फिर उसके बाद जब हम मिलते थे तो दादा कहते थे कि तुम लोग कोर्स करके आओ, एडवेंचर का बेसिक कोर्स या एडवांस कोर्स। तो उन्होंने हमें ज़बरदस्ती क्या कहते हैं कहा और कह कर के हमको बेसिक कोर्स कराया। 93 में क्या कहते हैं हम लोग बेसिक कोर्स करके आए थे, 5 हम लोग जामिया के स्टूडेंट थे, तो 5 लोग हम मिल कर के बेसिक कोर्स करके आए थे। फिर उसके बाद मैं 96 में ज़बरदस्ती दादा ने जो है कि नहीं, अब तुम ऐसा करो कि एडवांस भी कोर्स करो। हालांकि कुछ घरेलू हमारे ऐसे मसाइल थे कि जिनकी वजह से नहीं हो पा रहा था, लेकिन दादा ने कहा नहीं, तुम्हें करना है। और 96 में फिर मैं एडवांस कोर्स करके आया। बहुत कुछ वो मतलब उन्होंने एडवेंचर में मेरे लिए किया। जिस वक्त पहला स्पोर्ट्स क्लाइंबिंग से बहुत ज़्यादा जुड़े हुए थे दादा। स्पोर्ट्स क्लाइंबिंग का जो फर्स्ट रूट सेटर कोर्स हुआ था, तो दादा ने मेरा और एक मेरे साथी हैं उस्मान, उनका क्या कहते हैं नाम लिखा कि नहीं, तुम लोगों को ये कोर्स करना है। तो हम लोगों को वो कोर्स कराया। फिर उसके बाद जो फर्स्ट जजिस कोर्स हुआ था स्पोर्ट्स क्लाइंबिंग का, वो हम लोगों को दादा ने कराया। तो इस फील्ड में हम लोग, दादा हमारे गुरु हैं और हम उनको अभी हमेशा उनको अपना गुरु ही मानते रहेंगे, क्योंकि वो अब हमारे बीच है नहीं, लेकिन इतना ज़रूर है कि वो हमारे दिलो दिमाग के अंदर हमेशा ज़िंदा रहेंगे। तो जिस वक्त लड़कपन हमारा ख़त्म हुआ तो मैं दादा के घर भी आता था। दादा, आपको मैं बता दूं, आज ईद भी है हमारे लिए, तो मैं ईद के लिए भी आप सब लोगों को मुबारकबाद देता हूं। तो कोई तकरीबन 20-25 साल से मुझे याद नहीं, अगर दादा दिल्ली के अंदर अगर नहीं रहे तो एक अलग बात है, वरना जिस दिन भी ईद होती थी तो वो फ़ौरन उनका सुबह में एकदम फ़ोन आता था, हरीश मियाँ कहाँ हो? तो मैं कहता दादा घर पे, ईद बहुत बहुत मुबारक, कब मिलोगे? तो मैंने दादा जब आप आ जाइए, मैं घर पे ही हूँ। तो वो हमेशा क्या कहते हैं, कोई ऐसी ईद मिस उन्होंने दादा ने नहीं की होगी जब वो क्या कहते हैं मेरे घर ना आए हों, और जितने भी उनके क्या कहते हैं मुस्लिम शागिर्द थे उनके घर वो ना गए हों। वो हमेशा क्या कहते हैं ईद के दिन हम लोगों के पास हम लोगों को विशेष देने के लिए आया करते थे। तो ये चीज़ जो जोड़ने की एक परंपरा है, तो दादा के अभी बोला था एक साहब ने कि उनके अंदर टीम स्पिरिट थी, जो जोड़ने की एक परंपरा थी दादा के अंदर, वो बहुत कूट कूट करके भरी हुई थी। तो जिस वक्त हम थोड़ा सा बड़े हुए तो दादा से मैं बहुत फ्रेंकली बात करता था। जब थोड़ा सा तजुर्बा हुआ उम्र का, तो मैं दादा से थोड़ी सी खुल के बात करता था, घर के बारे में भी, और कुछ सियासी डिस्कशन भी मैं उनसे किया करता था, बहस हुआ करती थी मेरी और उनके बीच में। तो मैंने दादा से ये कहा कि दादा एक बात बताइए कि आपने अपनी ज़िंदगी में कमाया क्या? आपके बनाए हुए बहुत सारे जो शागिर्द हैं वो आज यहाँ ज़मीन से लेकर के आसमान को पहुँच गए हैं, उन्होंने बहुत कुछ कमाया दुनिया के अंदर। तो दादा का एक ही जवाब होता था कि हारिस मियाँ देखो, मुझे पैसे की कोई इतनी लालच नहीं है, ना मैं चाहता कि मेरे पास पैसा हो। मेरी जो ज़िंदगी की कमाई है वो मेरी बेटी श्रिया है, उसको मैंने इतना कर दिया कि अब मुझे किसी और चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं है। तो ये हमेशा जब होता था तो ये बोलते थे, और न जाने कितने लोग ऐसे हैं कि दादा के थ्रू जो आगे बढ़े हैं, उनके कंधों से होकर के आगे गए हैं और बहुत अच्छा अपनी फील्ड में, एडवेंचर फील्ड में आज वो लोग काम कर रहे हैं। तो एक तो दादा की ये बहुत बड़ी क्वालिटी थी कि न जाने कितने शागिर्द उनके ज़मीन से आसमान तक पहुंच गए। अब यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज़ और दादा को श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए कहूँगा, क्योंकि कभी अक्सर बात हुआ करती थी सियासत को लेकर के और हमारे जो माहौल चल रहा है हमारे भारतवर्ष का, इसको लेकर के। तो हमेशा दादा एक ही चीज़ कहते थे, और जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ कि अगर हम लोग थोड़ी सी पहल करें इस चीज़ के लिए इंडिविजुअली, जैसे दादा ने किया था, तो हो सकता है कि ये बहुत अच्छा ट्रिब्यूट, बहुत अच्छी श्रद्धांजलि हम दादा के लिए हम दे सकते हैं। क्योंकि आप देख रहे हैं कि हमारे इस वक्त भारतवर्ष का क्या माहौल चल रहा है। तो वो हमेशा कहते थे कि हारिस मियाँ, मैं कहता दादा देखिए क्या है, ऐसा अननेसेसरली सारी चीज़ें, कहते हारिस मियाँ छोड़ो, क्या है इन चीज़ों में रखा है, जो लोग ये कर रहे हैं, ऐसी चीज़ें कर रहे हैं, सब बेवकूफ़ हैं, पागल हैं, कोई नहीं, तुम अपना जो है एंजॉय करो, अपना ज़िंदगी में आगे बढ़ो, अपने बच्चों से एक दूसरे को इंटरेक्शन कराओ, तो ही क्या कहते हैं जो सोसाइटी है, जब हम लोग एक दूसरे से इंटरेक्शन करेंगे आपस में, तभी हम एक दूसरे के बारे में जानेंगे, एक दूसरे के बारे में समझेंगे, तभी क्या कहते हैं हम अपने इस भारतवर्ष को हम अच्छे से आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं। तो अक्सर दादा जो थे हमारे, उनमें उनसे बात जो हुआ करती थी, वो एक चीज़ कहते थे कि हारिस देखो ऐसा है कि जो एक बागीचा होता है वो खाली एक कलर के फूल से नहीं बनता, उसमें डिफरेंट कलर के फूल होते हैं, अलग अलग तरीके के रंग के होते हैं, हर किसी की जो कस्टम्स हैं वो अलग होते हैं। अगर हम हिंदुस्तान को देखें तो बहुत सारी विविधताएं हैं, हर 40-50 किलोमीटर के बाद कुछ कस्टम्स चेंज हो जाते हैं, लैंग्वेजेस चेंज हो जाती हैं। तो हमको जो है अगर अपने इस भारतवर्ष को आगे बढ़ाना है तो हमको मिल कर के रहना पड़ेगा, हमको जुड़ कर के रहना पड़ेगा। जो ये चीज़ें चल रही हैं हमको अपने लेवल पे कोशिश करनी पड़ेगी, इंडिविजुअली, एक दूसरे के साथ हम मिलें, एक दूसरे के साथ हम बैठें, उनको समझाएं और उनके बारे में जानें, तब जाकर के, जैसे कि क्या है कि मैं हूँ, देखो मुझे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, मैं तो हर कहीं जाता हूँ, कहीं भी चला जाता हूँ, कहीं भी आ जाता हूँ, कोई नहीं। तो मैं दादा यही चीज़ बहुत अच्छी है आपके अंदर कि आप कहीं भी बहुत आसानी के साथ आते हैं, जाते हैं, और ऐसे न जाने कितने लोग हैं जो ये चीज़ करते हैं या आपकी तरह सोचते हैं। तो इसी चीज़ के अंदर क्या कहते हैं, पिछली बार जब दादा का शायद कौन सी डेट में हुआ था, 14 को हुआ था, तो पिछली बार मुझे जहाँ तक याद है कि 8 मई को मेरी मिसेस का भी कोरोना से इंतकाल हुआ था। तो शायद जहाँ तक मुझे याद है कि दादा को शायद मालूम चल गया था, तो तकरीबन 15-20 मिनट दादा ने मुझसे बात की थी। और क्या मैंने पूछा था कि क्या दादा आप कहाँ पर हैं, तो वो अपनी छत पे टहल रहे थे, कहते कि मैं छत पे टहल रहा हूँ क्योंकि बाहर तो हम लोग निकल ही नहीं सकते। तो काफ़ी तसल्ली दी थी। तो कब फैमिली से एक इस तरीके से वो जुड़ जाते थे कि सामने वाली की फैमिली जो है बिल्कुल उनको ऐसा लगता था कि वो मेरी फैमिली है, या उस सामने वालों को भी ऐसा ही लगता था कि ये हमारे अपने हैं, हमारे बड़े हैं, हमारे बुज़ुर्ग हैं, हमें कुछ ना कुछ ज़रूर दे करके जाएंगे, कुछ ना कुछ ज़रूर समझा करके जाएंगे। तो दादा के लिए कुछ शेर हैं जो मैंने लिखे नहीं है, सॉरी, माफ़ी चाहता हूँ, कि ये जो बहुत बड़े शायर थे अल्लामा इकबाल, ये उनके शेर हैं कि शायद जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ कि उनके हमारे दादा के इमेज के ऊपर बहुत अच्छे और फिट बैठते हैं। तो उसमें यह है कि खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले, खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे, खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे, बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है। दूसरा है लोग, क्योंकि काफ़ी लोग ऐसे थे, कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं थे, लेकिन मुझे जहाँ तक याद है कि चंद लोग ऐसे थे, लेकिन ये मैंने उसके ऊपर ये मैंने सिलेक्ट किया है कि लोग पत्थर मारने आए, लोग पत्थर मारने आए तो वो भी साथ थे, लोग पत्थर मारने आए तो वो भी साथ थे, जिनके गुनाह भी हमने जिनके गुनाह भी हमने अपने सर लिया करते थे। तो इसी के साथ मैं अपनी श्रद्धांजलि दादा को समर्पित करता हूँ। शुक्रिया।
I will now invite Srivatsa from Bangalore.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening to all, ladies and gentlemen, assembled in the Samaj, where Dada was instrumental to construct this building. And good evening to and also good evening to Zoom members who are on the panel and my fellow truckers and mountaineers. As said, rightly said, Dada is a very supporting, cheerful, simplicity, and he always lived for others. And he never valued for money. As you all know, the KMA, Karnataka Mountaineering Association, is in central part of Bangalore, that is in Kandirva Stadium. Very next to it is our artificial rock climbing wall. Whenever Dada used to come to Bangalore, he used to make a point to visit our association and meet our members and encourage all the members to go to the mountains. As today, our President, Mr. Mehta, is running with fever. He has sent a message to read it out. I will read it out for just please bear with me for 3 minutes. Namaste, fellow truckers and climbers, office bearers and members of Karnataka Mountaineering Association. Join in offering Shraddhanjali to our Sreebash Bhattacharjee, who left our heavenly abode last year. Dada is popularly known as pioneer in the field of mountaineering and allied adventure sports. As a founding member of CEC, he did a human service in spreading the spirit of adventure. Under his stewardship, CEC grew leaps and bounds. The successful launch of first civilian expedition to Sazar Kangri peaks in the Karakoram area and Indo-Russian joint expedition being icing on the scale. To be very frank, Dada encouraged me to be in the part of the Sazar Kangri expedition and also in the Mount Elbrus. And with his wishes and with his all support, I climbed that peak and I was one of the summiter on both the expeditions. Dada was an epitome of simplicity, humility, love and kindness. He displayed a high degree of determination and will to succeed during the 80s and 90s when KMA was struggling to stand on his firm ground. He was a great source of help and encouragement and advice. Many of our members had a privilege of participating in CEC programs during the Himalayan ventures. Our founder members, a second home is Dada's house. Dada, whenever he was in Bangalore, made it a point to visit KMA office and visit our homes. The bonding was humane and we cherished his friendship. His fairness, discipline and unwavering adherence to the rules made him a regular in sport climbing events across the country. An unassuming personality, he truly lived to the spirits of the saying that a good adventurer automatically becomes a good human being. He was one of the persons who never sought fame but still was so popular and well known in mountaineering circles pan-India. Dada, who left behind a big legacy, it is for us to take its greater heights so that more youngsters are empowered to become responsible citizens. In the words of Cicero, the life given to us by nature is short, but the memory of a well-spent life is eternal. The word stands so true as we honor Dada, who touched so many lives. To be very frank, Mr. S.K. Mehta, president of our association, who served as a chief manager in Delhi Canara Bank, himself and Mr. Dada was very close friends. They used to work together for the CEC growth and always. So on behalf of the KMA, I thank all and wishes the best wishes and to carry his vision to his Namaste.
Before we go to the next speaker, I would like to say that dinner is served. আপনারা যদি মানে খেতে চান, মানে যদি এখন খেতে চান, you may want to proceed. Okay. Thank you, Vatsa uncle. I will now invite Nafisa Kamra, who will join us from Bombay. Nafisa aunty. Okay.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Shreya, for inviting me to speak. This evening we have assembled not to mourn, but to celebrate the life of a person who was the epitome of goodness, humility, humanity, and selflessness. That was Mr. Sreebash Bhattacharjee, lovingly and popularly known called Dada. Dada, as we all know, was a renowned mountaineer, and he had dedicated his entire life to the cause and growth of mountaineering and adventure activity. With passionate dedication, he founded the Climbers and Explorers Club, nurtured it, and regularly organized treks and expeditions in the Himalaya. This gesture of his encouraged the youth of the country to participate in the said activities. I, for one, thank Dada for an incident which I will presently come to. But before that, I first met Dada 40 years ago, way back in the summer of 1982. A friend and I had decided to do a trek in Ladakh. But because of heavy snowfall in the region, we had to cancel our program. A kindly soul in Delhi suggested to us, why don't you meet Mr. Bhattacharjee of Climbers and Explorers Club? He will be able to guide you for another trek. It was as if fate had prompted that lady to direct us to Dada. Dada immediately, warmly, without a question, said, why don't you join the group which is leaving for Pindari Glacier Trek tomorrow? And there we were, a part of the Pindari Glacier Trek in 1982. Little did I know then that this meeting with Dada would be a lifelong friendship with him. And since then, actually, I did several treks with CSB. And it was a pleasure to meet Dada every time, that not only when I did the trek, but otherwise also when I met him on my visits to Delhi. Another incident I would like to narrate. And how greatly fair in work ethics Dada was brought home to me when a friend and I registered for the Sundardunga McDolly trek one summer. It so happened, it turned out that we were the only two participants for the trek. But Dada, being a man of high principles, did not cancel the trek. Moreover, since he could not relish the idea of sending we two girls on the trek alone. He literally summoned an experienced trekker from Meerut and asked the Delhi girl to join us. And that's how we completed the trek. Shreya, I could not attend your wedding, but later on, in one of my visits to Delhi, I met Deepa and Dada at their home, and he not only talked after dinner about his expedition in the Caucasus Mountains and the several expeditions here in the country, wall climbing activity, and varied aspects of mountaineering and adventure. But he did not forget to mention you at the same time. He talked with joy in his heart about you, and he was proud, very proud of you, I must say. In the intervening years, when CEC had disintegrated, I felt the anguish in Dada's voice. But thankfully, with the revival of CEC, Dada found solace. And now we have to ensure that Climbers and Explorers Club returns to its former glory.
Thank you, Auntie.
Let us salute a very unassuming, towering figure whose untimely departure from our midst has been a great loss to his family, friends, and all who were fortunate to know him. And Dada, you will remain in our hearts and memory always. May you rest in eternal peace in your heavenly abode.
Thank you, Nafisa Auntie. I will now invite Ms. Gopa Basu from Kali Mandir Society.
বিস্তীর্ণ আধার ঘোর সংশয় বিশ্ব করিছে গ্রাস তারই মাঝখানে সংশয়াতীত প্রত্যয় করে বাস হ্যাঁ সেই প্রত্যয়ের নাম শ্রীবাস ভট্টাচার্য সেই প্রত্যয় যাকে দেখে আমরা শিখেছি যাকে দেখে আমাদের কাজকে আমরা কি করে উৎকর্ষতায় নিয়ে যেতে হয় সেটা জেনেছি সেই মানুষটির নাম শ্রীবাস ভট্টাচার্য আমার তার সঙ্গে কাজ করার অভিজ্ঞতা চিত্তরঞ্জন পাড় বঙ্গীয় সমাজ বেঙ্গল অ্যাসোসিয়েশন দিল্লি এবং সবশেষে চিত্তরঞ্জন পার্ক কালী মন্দির সোসাইটিতে শুরু করেছিলাম বঙ্গীয় সমাজে তখন প্রথম পর্যায়ের ভবন নির্মাণের কাজ চলছে সেই সময় থেকে শিখেছিলাম কি করে এই সমস্ত সংস্থাতে কাজ করতে হয় দূর দূরান্তে কম সুবিধাপ্রাপ্তদের নিয়ে কাজ করার থেকে শুরু করে বিভিন্ন ফিল্ডে কাজ করা তার থেকে শিখেছি কিন্তু চিত্তরঞ্জন পার্ক কালী মন্দির সোসাইটিতে এসে বোধহয় তখন আমারও বয়স বেড়েছে অভিজ্ঞতা বেড়েছে তাই তখন তার সঙ্গে যেভাবে আলাপ আলোচনা করতে পেরেছি সেটা আগে পারিনি জেনেছি যে কিশোরটি স্কুলে বন্যার ত্রাণ থেকে শুরু করে খেলাধুলো অনুষ্ঠান করা ইত্যাদিতে অগ্রণীর ভূমিকায় থাকতো সেই কিশোর তরুণ হয়ে দিল্লিতে যখন এলো, তখন সম্পূর্ণ না জানা পথে কি করে হাঁটতে শুরু করলো। এখানে এসে চাকরি ক্ষেত্রে প্রবেশ করে সেখানে অফিসের কালচারাল সেক্রেটারি হয়েছিলেন। কথায় কথায় বন্ধুদের সঙ্গে ঠিক করেন যে সাইকেলে আগ্রা যাবেন। অবাক হওয়ার কথা এটাই, সাইক্লিং কিন্তু উনি জানতেন না, কিন্তু সাইকেলে আগ্রা যাবেন কথাটা বলেছেন যখন, তখন তো জানতে হবে। রাস্তার যে সাইকেল সারাইয়ের দোকান, একটি সাইকেল সারাইয়ের দোকানে উনি শনি রবিবার কাজ শিখতে শুরু করলেন। সাইকেলটা চালাতে হবে, এত দূর রাস্তা, তার তো যন্ত্রতন্ত্র জানতে হবে কিরকম ভাবে থাকে। লোকটি প্রথমে বিশ্বাস করেনি, আরে ভদ্রলোক কি করবে, সাইকেল চালানো শিখবে না এইসব করবে। কিন্তু শিবাজদাকে দেখে, তার সঙ্গে কথা বলে সে অবাক। আর সেই দিল্লি থেকে আগ্রা সাইকেল চালানোর যে অভিযান ছিল, সেটা শেষ হয়েছিল 3000 কিলোমিটার। দিল্লি থেকে বম্বে, গোয়া, মাইসোর, মধ্যপ্রদেশ, দিল্লি। একজন 3 মাসের মধ্যে সাইকেল চালানো শিখে, সাইকেল সম্বন্ধে জ্ঞান অর্জন করে এই 3000 কিলোমিটার পথ নেতৃত্ব দিয়েছিলেন সাইকেল চালানোর। দিনে 10 থেকে 12 কিলোমিটার সাইকেলও চালিয়েছেন, এরকম অবস্থা। তারপরে এই মানুষটি একদম কম জানা একটি ক্ষেত্রে আবারও হয়ে পড়লেন ইন্টারেস্টেড, সেটা হচ্ছে রক ক্লাইম্বিং স্পোর্ট। জানতেন না কিছু, ধীরে ধীরে শুধু জানা নয়, একজন প্রশিক্ষক থেকে একজন দক্ষ প্রশাসক হয়ে উঠলেন এই ফিল্ডে। ওর বিভিন্ন গল্প যখন শুনেছি সামনে বসে, তখন উনি হাসতে হাসতে বলেছেন, আমরা শিউরে উঠেছি কিভাবে হরিদ্বার থেকে কলকাতা নৌকো করে। যখন ভাবছেন যে নদী থেকেই একটু জল তুলে খাই, সঙ্গে খাবার জল শেষ, হঠাৎ জল তুলতে গিয়ে দেখেন একটি মৃতদেহ ভেসে যাচ্ছে, জল খাওয়া হলো না। হয়তো পরবর্তী 3-4 ঘন্টা আর খাবার জল পেলেন না। আর তারপর যখন গিয়ে থামলেন, তখন দূর দিগন্তে ধেয়ে আসছে ঝড়, নদীতে ছিল তেজকোটাল। কিভাবে একটা বয়ার উপরে ঝাঁপিয়ে পড়ে নৌকাকে বাঁচালেন, সাথীদের বাঁচালেন, নিজে বাঁচলেন, সে গল্পটা যখন শুনেছি শিউরে উঠেছি। তেমনই ভাবে শিউরে উঠেছি যখন শুনেছি ট্রেকিংয়ে গেছেন, অনেক উঁচুতে উঠে গিয়ে কিভাবে অসুস্থ মানুষদের নিয়ে নিচে নেবে, নিচের ক্যাম্পে রেখে আবার উপরের ক্যাম্পে ফিরেছেন, যার মধ্যে তারা হয়তো আরেকটু এগিয়ে গেছেন। বারবার শুনতে শুনতে আমার মনে হয়েছে, আমরা যারা ওর সঙ্গে কাজ করি, আমরা অনেকেই জানি না, সম্যক ধারণা নেই মানুষটা কি, কতটা পারেন, কতটা করেছেন। সেটা চিন্তা করেই শিবাজদা চলে যাওয়ার মাস 3 আগে চিত্তরঞ্জন পার্ক বঙ্গীয় সমাজের নগরে প্রান্তরে, এতে ওর সঙ্গে কথা বলে ওর সম্বন্ধে একটা লেখা লিখেছিলাম। পরিসর কম, ছুঁয়ে যেতে পারেনি ওর জীবনের প্রতিটি বাঁক, কিন্তু চেষ্টা করেছিলাম। বলেছিলাম, শিবাজদা কিছুই পারলাম না, পরবর্তীকালে আপনাকে নিয়ে একটা বড় লেখা লিখব। হাসতে হাসতে আমার পিঠে চাপড় মেরেছিলেন, মেরে বললেন, কি লিখবে, আমাকে নিয়ে কেন লিখবে, প্রথম থেকেই তো একদমই প্রচার বিমুখ মানুষ। সেই কারণে আজ মনে হচ্ছে ওটাই ছিল আমার ওর প্রতি শ্রদ্ধাঞ্জলি। আজ এখানে বসে বারবার সেই কথাগুলো মনে হচ্ছে। হয়তো কিছুই পারিনি করতে, বর্তমানে চেষ্টা করছি ওর দেখানো পথে চলবার, কারণ সত্যি আমার এই সমস্ত সংগঠনে কাজ করা শুরু ওর হাত ধরে। উনিই প্রথম আমাকে চিত্তরঞ্জন পাড় বঙ্গীয় সমাজের কার্যকরী সমিতির সদস্য নিয়েছিলেন, আর শেষ কাজ করেছি ওর সঙ্গে চিত্তরঞ্জন পাড় কালী মন্দির সোসাইটিতে। আলোর পথযাত্রীকে আমার সশ্রদ্ধ প্রণাম। যেখানেই থাকছেন, দেখছেন আমাদের, আমি জানি আপনার স্মৃতি, আপনার দেখানো পথ আমার আগামী দিনের চলার পথের পথেও প্রণাম।
I will now request Upendra Vajpayee, who will join from Lucknow.
हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी।
आज मुझे मौका मिला है हमारे दोस्त के बात करने के लिए। वो दोस्त जिसकी बहुत सी क्वालिटीज आप सबने अभी अभी कही है, और मुझे लगता है कि हम तो दरिया हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है, जिस तरफ चल पड़ेंगे उस तरफ रास्ते बन जाएंगे। ऐसी पर्सनालिटी और ऐसे करेक्टर का आदमी, ऐसी पर्सनालिटी और ऐसे करेक्टर के इंसान से हमारी मुलाकात 1979 में हुई थी, और हमारी मुलाकात हमारे दोस्त विजय तलवार और जसविंदर पाल सिंह बन्नी के जरिए 79 में हुई थी। 79 से जो हमारी दोस्ती की यात्रा आगे बढ़ी वो अब तक चल रही है। वो ऐसे शख्सियत थे जिन्होंने मुझे इनकरेज किया 1980 में कि चल भाई बेसिक और एडवांस कोर्स कर ले। उन्होंने मुझे इनकरेज किया कि चल भाई बंदरपुर एक्सपीडिशन तुझे जाना है। उन्होंने एक्सपीडिशन के लिए, केदार डोम एक्सपीडिशन के लिए टीरू में मुझे इनकरेज किया कि तुझे जाना है। उन्होंने हर जगह मुझे इनकरेज किया। वो दोस्त भी थे, वो भाई भी थे, वो इनकरेज भी करते थे, वो हमारे इंस्पिरेटर भी थे। हमारे लिए हर कुछ उन्होंने किया। मुझे लगता है कि वो संस्था, वो क्लब जिसको उन्होंने एक पौधे की तरह लगाया था, उसको उन्होंने एक वट वृक्ष की तरह आगे बढ़ा दिया।
चेंज होता रहता है।
एक बड़े वट वृक्ष की तरह उन्होंने लगा दिया। हम सब उसकी शेड में, उसकी छाया में बैठे, आगे बढ़े और बहुत सी एक्टिविटीज की। हम लोगों को कभी उन्होंने हारने नहीं दिया। हिम्मत कर ले तो कुछ भी दुश्वार नहीं होता, और हम आगे बढ़ते चले गए। हम आगे बढ़ते रहे, आगे बढ़ते रहे, और मुझे लगता है कि राइट अप टू द 92 में लास्ट प्रोग्राम हैट 92 हुआ करेरी लेक के लिए, जिसमें हम सब साथ में थे। लेकिन उसके बाद सारी चीजें रुक गई, सारी चीजें ठहर गई। उनको उस बात का बड़ा दर्द था, बहुत तकलीफ थी कि सारी चीजें रुक क्यों गई। ये जो ठहराव हुआ, उसके बावजूद भी उनमें बड़ी हिम्मत थी, और वो हमेशा बात करते थे और कहा करते थे कि उपेंद्रा, अभी फिर से सब चीजें रीएस्टेब्लिश होनी है, रीबिल्ड करना है। और मुझे बड़ी खुशी है कि लास्ट ईयर हमारे पुराने मित्रों ने रीयूनियन करके सबको इकट्ठा किया, और फिर भी रीबिल्ड करने का प्रोग्राम बना, और सीसी को रीबिल्ड करने का उन्होंने एक प्रॉमिस दिया है। और जो हमारे फ्रेंड्स बैठे हुए हैं ऑडियंस में, मेरी उनसे भी विनती है कि जो उनका लास्ट विजन था कि इसको इस्टेब्लिश करना है, इस संस्था को आगे बढ़ाना है, वो हमको पूरा करना है। और मुझे बहुत कम टाइम देने के लिए कहा है विश्व कुमार जी ने कि टाइम कम है, तो मैं उनको अपनी लास्ट बात कह रहा हूं। उनको 2 लाइनें समर्पित कर रहा हूं कि हौसला रख आगे बढ़ने का, मुश्किलों से लड़ने का, यही तरीका है मेरे भाई ऊंची उड़ान भरने का। अगर आपको ऊंची उड़ान भरनी है तो हौसला रखना पड़ेगा, और हम सबको इकट्ठा होके उस काम को आगे बढ़ाना है जो उन्होंने छोड़ा था, अभी जिसको आगे बढ़ाना ही है। मैं दादा को बहुत बहुत अपनी श्रद्धांजलि देता है और उनको नमन करता हूँ। नमस्कार।
Next, I will invite Tejbir Singh Anand.
So Saturday, 16th December 1989, I come to the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. Saturday, 16th December 1989, I come to the Nehru Stadium wanting to sign up for a rock climbing camp. And I was a member of the Delhi Mountaineering Association, so I went straight over there. And I'd already filled the form, I'd given the money, but strangely somehow I got rejected. कि जगह नहीं है, भर गया बैच, तो आप अगले साल आइएगा. So very disappointed and dejected, I walked out. And somebody told me कि एक और क्लब है बगल में, आप वहाँ पर एक बार जरूर जाना, Climber and Explorers Club है, अच्छा क्लब है. I said fine. So me and my friend, we walked to the other side of the stadium and the gate, and we came to the Climber Explorers Club. And when I walked into the room, so straight away Dada was sitting over there, and he welcomed us. And within no minutes, I think flat 5 minutes, and he said, "क्यों नहीं है? बिल्कुल जगह है, कम है, नहीं है, आप बिल्कुल हमारे साथ आओगे, and you please come and join the rock climbing camp," which I did, And then it's history. So at the lad of 20 years old and 33 years back, that's how I met Dada for the first time. And it's been an amazing journey. And I think the journey still continues. To be honest, I am going to celebrate his life ever. And even today, I feel he's around here. I don't, to me, it looks like he's still there. And he will always remain in my heart forever. So yes, I'm going to celebrate his life. I don't know shairi, I don't know poetry. A lot of my friends and colleagues over here have, given amazing, instances of his life, his character, which we all know about. I think that's something which everyone knows about it. All I can say is that I found a new family over here, friends who are sitting in the crowd over here, who mean more to me than any other school friend or college friend or any other friend that I would have in my life. This is more than family to me. I owe a lot of my life to CEC and Dada, just because that day when I walked into the club and I got such a warm welcome and got accepted, and that changed my life. Even in profession, I'm an adventure tour operator, and I formed a company, and I'm sure it's only because of that day when I walked into the club. Otherwise, my parental business was something else. मैं वही काम कर रहा होता, मैं लकड़ी बेच रहा होता, मैं कुछ ना कुछ ऐसे ही कर रहा होता. But today, very proudly, I can say that I'm in the business of adventure travel, and I'm here because of him. पीठ पे शबाशी देते थे, थप्पी मारते थे, and बड़े fondly कहते थे, "पापे, कोई गाल नहीं, हो जाएगा." So his pape was like, so synonymous, and we truly, miss that pape. But yeah, like I say, so he's going to live on in our hearts forever. Amazing. क्या बोले, मतलब कितने भी adjectives लगाते हैं कम पड़ेंगे दादा के लिए, because a man he was, a legend, like everyone said, and I take back what Shreya said today, the perfect example of a banyan tree. So I think that completes my statement, saying that a great banyan tree, who touched so many lives, hundreds and thousands and lakhs of people, he went across the country, he met so many people, he touched their lives, he inspired so many people. Incredible. I don't know of another man in my life who I can claim to even say he could come closer to Dada. And to be honest, I also did not know the meaning of Dada when I actually came to the club. And I was like, why is everyone calling me Dada? बाद में पता लगा बड़े भाई को दादा कहते हैं. And if I honestly share over here, मेरा सका भाई भी जो है घर में, मैं उससे ज़्यादा इज्जत और प्यार उनको तभी देता था और आज भी दूंगा और मरते दम तक दूंगा, because actually true sense of meaning of an elder brother is what I found in him, So thank you so much, and he stays with me. I celebrate his life. He will always remain with me. Thank you.
উত্তীয় মিশ্র, চিত্রঞ্জপাক বঙ্গীয় সমাজ।
It's all of these people, who have spoken about him. I've been associated with him for 40 years, 35 years, 50 years. For me, it's just 6-8 years. I don't know, whether the impact of 40 years is less, more, or equal to 6 or 8 years of my life, what I have been through with him. It's a deep impact. We're calling him a legend. Who are we to call him a legend? He's a legend by his own right. He's a visionary. He's clear in his thoughts. Who are we to call him visionary? It's a number of adjectives you have given. It's all by his rights. Who are we to talk about him? He's there with us. Even today, this break, this all, everything done by him. Everybody speaks about Sreebash. So, who are we? Because we cannot speak about him like he was. He is, he will be with us with every step, every meeting we have in the Bongyo Samaj. As long as Bongyo Samaj is there, every week will talk about Sreebash, talk about him, talk on him, as if the bricks are speaking on his behalf. I think heaven also, if you people believe in heaven, heaven also needs a person, like Mr. Mukherjee said, a gentleman, who can see things very clearly and organize it. So they called him there. I mean, perhaps the need is more there than here, because he has already made us. He has already inspired us and trained us that his thoughts, whatever he is thinking, even of Bongyo Samaj today, whether it's Gautam Da or Pradeep Da, etc., all our thoughts are coming. It's like straight, he is speaking. It's not us. It's through us it's coming. So, we miss him? No, we don't miss him. Because he is with us. And he will be, always. And I feel, sorry, the grief I can feel. But let's celebrate his life. Because what he has done in his lifetime, whatever, it's not possible for a single human being to achieve. He has done it. And that's our goal. We follow these footsteps. Thank you.
On a lighter note, I think he's building buildings everywhere he went. Chitranjabak Bongyo Samaj building, CC building, Kali Mandir building, he's been building buildings. Okay. And our final speaker for today, Gautam Bhattacharjee.
I am actually too small to say anything regarding man like Sreebash. Sreebash was my mentor. Sreebash is still my mentor. Sreebash has given some responsibility to me to carry forward and his objective for Bongyo Samaj. And I am only trying to carry forward his aim and his dream for Bongyo Samaj. Sreebash আমাকে যখন দায়িত্ব দেন হঠাৎ একদিন যে তুমি সেক্রেটারি হবে বঙ্গীয় সমাজের, তো আমি ঘাবড়ে গেছিলাম। আমি বলেছিলাম না, আমি পারবো না। কারণ Sreebashদার মতন লোক যেভাবে সেক্রেটারিশিপ চালাতেন এখানে, বা আমি দেখেছি, ওনার কাছে কাজ শিখেছি, সেটা চিন্তা করা যায় না। আমরা অন্য কাউকে দেখিনি আমার জীবনে। সে বকা হোক, ঝকা হোক, যখন ইচ্ছে যা ইচ্ছে বলতেন উনি, কিন্তু আবার বন্ধুদের মতন টেনে নিয়ে কাছে আমাদেরকে বোঝাতেন। আজ Sreebashদা নেই, কিন্তু Sreebashদার অনেক কাজ, স্বপ্ন বঙ্গীয় সমাজকে নিয়ে যা ছিল, সেগুলো পুরো করার চেষ্টা করা, অ্যাটলিস্ট পুরো তো করতে পারবো না হয়তো, কিন্তু পুরো করার চেষ্টা করা, সেটাই এখন আমার একমাত্র এইম। রাত হয়েছে অনেক, আমি বেশি আর সময় নেব না। শিবাজদার ব্যাপারে যত বলবো সবই কম, আর এত লোকে এত বক্তারা বলেছেন। আমি শিবাজদার সাথে অ্যাসোসিয়েট খুব বেশি বছর নয়, ম্যাক্সিমাম হয়তো বছর 10। তার মধ্যেই শিবাজদা আমাকে বিভিন্ন দায়িত্বেতে দিয়েছেন। আমরা চেষ্টা করেছি ব্যোমকেশদা আমাদের, স্টিল নাও ব্যোমকেশদা অ্যাজ এ গাইড শিবাজদার অবজেক্টিভকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাওয়ার পথে উনি আমাদের সাথে আছেন, এটাই আমাদের জন্য অনেক বড় কথা। শিবাজদাও আমাদের সাথে প্রতি মুহূর্তে, আমরা শিবাজদা ছাড়া বঙ্গীয় সমাজের কোনো কাজ কিভাবে করব এটা ভাবতে পারি না। আর কিছু বলার নেই আমার। শিবাজদাকে জানাই আমার বঙ্গীয় সমাজের সকলের তরফ থেকে শ্রদ্ধাঞ্জলি। নমস্কার।
Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Shreya's husband, and Dada was my father-in-law. So I think all of you have spoken everything which can be spoken. Most of the things have been covered. I just want to share one or two impressions I had about him, in my, since marriage, since I know him. So one is that in all these years, I never recollect him giving me any advice in terms of anything. So generally you would find people giving advice, offering advice when it's needed, but I never had an occasion where I felt that, he was overbearing or, interfering in any manner. No, I mean, never. And second, I always remember him for the energy, he had. So he was so full of energy. I remember he used to come from Delhi or wherever to Bangalore, and he used to come home within an hour or so. He was ready to go, and then he will come back late night. So that energy I just wish I could have. So these two things I really remember. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all the people. Last year we had a terrible time, and all this, the entire country was going through this COVID crisis. We were really helpless when we were in Bangalore, and when this happened. So many people helped us, just tide over this, helped us in various ways, emotional support, hospitalization, last rites. We were just helpless. But there were so many people who, stepped forward to help us. I think countless. I don't even know who all helped us. So thank you to everybody who helped us during these tough times. And thank you for coming today, all the people who joined us on Zoom, all the people who have made an effort to come today evening, in the afternoon. Really thank you for coming all the way, spending your precious time with us, sharing memories, and how he has touched your life. So thank you so very much. Dinner is served, so please do have dinner with us before you leave. Thank you.
While we have dinner, if there's anybody else who would like to speak, most welcome.
And the things are available. That's records. All the life membership records have been sent, right, which Khosla will speak about that. So let's hear from Dada first.
Before you start, Umar, I think it's better to have a list of agendas, 2-3 agendas. Sometimes at 5 o'clock there is no problem, we are sitting here. if the agenda is set, then we will discuss that particular point of view.
Let's hear from him. And then
But it is very long agenda.
I know.
I did.
May I have your attention, please? Hello. Tomar.
Tomar.
May I have your attention?
Tomar.
Sorry.
Please.
First of all, once again, good morning, everybody. And welcome to CEC family. आज सुबह जो मैं आ रहा था, somebody said कहाँ जा रहा है? मैंने कहा family से मिलने जा रहा हूँ। कौन सा family तो साथ में है? कहाँ जा रहे हैं मिलने? मैंने कहा और एक family है, तुम लोगों के बाद। Finally, I had to spend too much time to tell him where I am going. How about? I am feeling like, I can't express how I am feeling today. After a long time, we have gathered here in the CEC house. जिसको सब लोगों ने, आप लोगों ने अपना घर, अपना बच्चा समझ के काम किया और जितना हो सकेगा कंट्रीब्यूट किया for the development of adventure, especially mountaineering, rock climbing, etc., etc.